Hello there guys, it's me and Stable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 3 of Stellaris, and we're actually getting a fair bit of mineral input right now. That's going to be really useful for us later on. I still want to be able to build up my military fleet, and we'll definitely be doing that soon. There is the maintenance cost to consider. We've got a level 2 anomaly here. Atmospheric readings from Murphid 4A do not match the simulated projections. We'll go ahead and research that just as we finish the system survey. We can probably actually pull the CUS Carston back now and do these two anomalies over here. We've completed a research. We can now build the colony ships. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and pick our new research. So we can get eco simulation, which would allow us to we can enact an edict, which would give us plus 25% food for 10 years, and would allow us to build hydroponic farms too, which produces extra food. We can increase our naval capacity by 10%. Well, we're nowhere near the cap yet, so it's pretty pointless. We could build a frontier clinic, which gives some food and more habitability. So basically makes your population happier. Or we can get galactic ambitions, which increases our border range by 20% and unlocks survey data. I think we're definitely going to pick that one, because if we can increase our border range, then we might be able to scoop up some more of these star systems. We're going to go to our homeworld, select the spaceport, and we are going to build ourselves a colony ship. 350 gems, we have enough, and it's going to take 350 days, so almost a year to build that colony ship. So we'll have to hope that nothing untoward happens while that is going on. So we could go ahead and build a frontier outpost if we wanted to. Just having a look around to see if there's anywhere that is really worth building one. I think we need the energy at the moment more than the minerals. So maybe building one on Zosma is not a bad idea. Swirling shadows, immense ragged plains of shadow drift across Murphid 4A's face. They are cast not by clouds but by sheets of organic material drifting through the upper layers of the atmosphere, hinged or rather jointed to allow a small degree of articulation. Science Officer Lucas Campbell is yet unwilling to say whether these things are flora or fauna, or what possible purpose, if any, their elaborate shadow casting might serve. But it does mean that that particular planet has +6 social science on it, which is quite cool. So, okay, looking around here, I think one of the best planets to grab, or one of the best systems to grab, is probably this one here. So we can grab ourselves the minerals, the energy credits, and the science. So let's go ahead. We're going to go and take our construction ship, and we're going to move you over here. So we'll wait for him to arrive. So we don't quite have enough influence yet. We will have by the time we do get there, so that should be fine. The Carston is doing nothing. Right, what have we got going on here? This is the Githian. And what have we got here? Level 1 anomaly, no chance of failure. Our initial scans have caught an irregular signal reminiscent of our own distress patterns. Let's research that. We'll take the Carston, who is currently down here. You, I would like you to go and research that if you wouldn't mind. That should be fine. Take a little while to get there. Let's make sure we're on pause. Still playing on fast. Construction ship is now getting into the Zosma system. So we can't actually build on any of these. We can't actually build on any of these planets or moons, because it's not in our system. You know, we don't have the option to build here. So what we need to do is we need to build a frontier outpost. Now it's going to cost us 2 solar credits a month to maintain, which is a little bit of a pain. And it also costs us 1 influence a month. And this is why you really want to avoid building these frontier outposts. If our borders expand here, then that's not too bad. So when you build a frontier outpost, you actually build it around the star. So we're going to build a frontier outpost here. Now, the frontier outpost does have a 2 energy credits monthly maintenance, but a frontier outpost also counts as a mining station. So it will actually give us the 3 energy credits from the star. So we're technically going to be +1. Lost in space. The signal we intercepted was a distress call from a ship in orbit around Gingham 5. The ship was not giving away any heat signatures and seems to be drifting. A special project has been issued to investigate what has happened to the crew. Intriguing. So we'll go and choose that. So we now have this derelict ship mission available. Requires a skill 2 scientist, so that's not too much of a problem. We've finished a system survey, which is with the Githian. In that case, you can go... we have to do it straight from the situation log. Why won't you just let me select it? Where is it? It's right there. We do not have access to this system. Do we not? We're in this system. There we go, research project. Not sure whether that was me doing something wrong or whether the game being a little bit strange, I don't know. But we'll go ahead and pick that up there.
Special project complete.
Oh, there's another special project done. Was that one done already? The crew of the ship has been found dead. What is more disturbing is that they appear to have been killed by some highly advanced brain parasites which infested them and turned them mad. Thanks to Science Officer David Zane's findings, we could protect our own crew from being infected. And that gives us another 60 society research. Fantastic. Let's get you to continue surveying these stars. Now, our colony ship is sort of 3/4 done. Again, we can tell that by the progress bar up here. If we go and look at the spaceport, we can see that it's got 108 days left to go. Still got these guys floating around. They're not really hostile, so we don't mind those. We have also discovered yet more gas grazers over here, so they're not going to hurt us. So you can tell at a glance whether a ship is hostile or neutral or friendly. Green is friendly, yellow is neutral, and red would be hostile. We'd also very much get a warning if things were turning hostile. We've discovered a thriving ecosystem in the upper atmosphere of the gas giant Daranmar 3. Massive floating creatures having evolved bodies filled with lighter than air gases follow the wind currents and feed off the energy released by the gas giant's frequent lightning storms. These beings in turn support colonies of smaller animals that prey on the atmospheric plankton and each other. Okay, so now that particular planet has a little bit of extra research on it. Let's go and research this. So let's send you there. And we're just waiting on that colony ship now. I mean, we don't necessarily need to colonise here, but it's always worth having another world colonised. If our borders expand by 20%, we'll probably encompass Lando as well. So we'll be able to grab those minerals and those energy credits. So close to being done.
Complete.
There we go, we have finished. Now, it now says we have a negative balance, and that means our energy credits are going down. The reason for that is because we have a colony ship, and they cost quite a bit to maintain, because you've got to pay for all of the food for the colonists on board that ship. So we're going to go ahead and grab our colony ship, the CUS Sugron, and we are going to tell it to move down here to Daranmar. Did we not actually research that one? I thought we did get that one done. Oh well, we can go back and do that one later on. Everybody's busy doing stuff though, so that is fine.
Situation log updated.
Okay, we've now found the beta aliens. We should proceed with caution. Let's go ahead. They are still saying that they are neutral. Let's go ahead and research them. Again, it'll take 180 days and it'll put our social research on hold while we're doing that, but that should be fine. So colony ship has now arrived in Daranmar. So what we want to do is we're going to click the colonize button and we're going to click the planet we want to go to. And you now see we have this little colony ship. Now, the colony ship will be our home for a while. That is where we are going to start off with. Now, remember, your planetary administration, not your colony ship. Colony ships have to be upgraded into a planetary administration. But those adjacency bonuses, you will still have them when it becomes a planetary administration. So you want to avoid settling in a corner. You want to always make sure that whenever you put this down, you have a tile, top, bottom, left and right, so that you can benefit from it. However, it doesn't actually give you any improved yields on science. It only gives you improved yields on things like food and minerals and energy. So if I was to put it here, this food tile would gain from the adjacency bonus, but this tech and this tech tile wouldn't. So it can be a little bit problematic. We're going to go ahead and put it here anyway, though, because it's still probably about the best spot we've got for it. Now, we're going to unpause the game. It does take a little bit of time to establish a colony. It's not something that is done instantly. As you can see, the ship does take a little bit of time to get going again, because it does have to recover once it warps in. We'll soon start making energy credits again. I'm not too concerned about that. Our construction ship on Zosma is doing quite well. The Cybrex, we have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on AZ-11140. Incredibly, this civilization, which apparently referred to itself as the Cybrex, seems to have been made up of machines that were linked together in some sort of collective consciousness. The age of the artifacts indicate that they were active some 600,000 years ago, in this portion of the galaxy at least, but we have learned nothing of their exact origins. According to a partial data fragment that our scientists managed to extract from one of the artifacts, the Cybrex at some point launched a crusade to destroy all sentient organic life in the galaxy for reasons unknown. Interesting. And that actually starts a chain, which is this one, the precursors, the Cybrex, and that wants us to recover 6 Cybrex artifacts, which we will find around at some point. So we've done another system survey. Both of our science ships are now unbusy. So what we want to do, we're going to take you. You're going to go back here and finish this one. I don't know why I screwed that up in the first place. There's still a 22% chance to fail, but I think we need to get it done. We've also got the Githian. I think we're going to send you... Some of these stars are actually quite distant. But let's send you down to this one. Can we get there directly? We do have to make a few hops and jumps and skips to get there. So instead then, let's go and send you to the ones that are closest. The first Chinor colony. Our colony ship has gently touched down at the top of a large flat mesa near the equator of Schlurg. Love that name. This location will serve as a first landing site, and the rivers that flow in the canyons below provide easy access to fresh water. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and the reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. So once that happens, we'll stop losing this. And you see there's a -8 for colonization cost in there. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Chinar city on an alien world. And that gives us 60 research towards engineering. If we now look over here, you can see we also have Schlurg. And Schlurg has this little symbol because it's still a colony. As you can see, if we look here... stuff happening. Our handy pioneers are establishing a foothold on this planet. The process costs 8 credits each month and will take approximately 13 months. Now, we can still look at the surface here. Not an awful lot going on, but we can look at the surface. Okay, so we have an encounter in Pagitoron. We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Pagitoron system. These strange objects have been flagged as gamma aliens. We can learn more about them. We should proceed with caution. So what are we doing in terms of our tech? Are we working on... Yep, we're already working on investigating the beta aliens. So we probably need to wait for that one to finish. Once that has finished, then we can start working on the gamma aliens. It's a little bit annoying when you're trying to get research completed. We have unemployed people. So let's go and sort this out. So unemployed people are going to be on the homeworld, I think. Let's just double check that. Yeah, it's this guy here. So this guy's in a tile, and there's nothing in this tile for him to do because this tile doesn't have any production at all. There's nothing here whatsoever. So we need to build something here. So let's go ahead and we will build ourselves a power plant. We'll also need to build something on some of these tiles as well. Like this one here that's giving us the minerals. We can actually upgrade this one. We could upgrade this one to a mining network, which would give it an extra gem from that, or an extra mineral. We probably want to start getting some of these tiles cleared as well. So let's go ahead and start working on clearing some of these tiles so we've got more room for our population to expand. We'll clear that one, and on this one we will upgrade that to... well, it's a little bit silly upgrading it to a mining network because it'll put us in even more negative income, but that's not too much of a problem because what's going to happen is... yeah, they're the Gamma aliens. What will actually happen is that colony will finish and then we'll get the 8 back. Now, also, our construction ship. Our construction ship finished over here. Communications established. Rixie Dominion. After successfully translating their language, we have established communications with the Rixie Dominion. Diplomatic channels are now open and hostilities have been terminated. Excellent. So we've met this guy. I bring greetings from Grand Marshal Pakida, the undisputed ruler of the Rixie Dominion. Respect our borders and keep out of our affairs, and perhaps our mighty fleets will refrain from visiting your worlds. Our citizens all send their regards. The news that we have encountered intelligent alien life for the first time has been received with mixed feelings by our populace. This confirms what we had long suspected. We are not alone in this galaxy. Each new alien species we encounter represents both an opportunity and a threat. We must be wary. These particular Xenos have a level of technology similar to our own, indicating that we have achieved spaceflight at roughly the same time. This changes everything. So what we're going to do here, first of all, I've just paused the game. So we've now built our outpost here, so our frontier outpost. Now we can start working on some of these other resources. So what we want to do is go and grab these ones here. So we can take our construction ship and we want to go and build a mining station there. And we also want to build another mining station there. We'll get the energy credits first, as we seem to be doing relatively well in terms of minerals. Now, let's go to the contact screen now. We can see that we have the Rixie Dominion right here. And we can tell at a glance they only have a single world. They have 8 pop. They're wary of us, which is fair enough because we're quite new. And we have equivalent power. Their fleet power is equivalent compared to ours. Their naval capacity is equivalent compared to ours. And their technology level is also comparable. They are a militaristic dictatorship and they're also ruthless capitalists, willing to go to any length to acquire more wealth and resources for themselves and their empire. They're fanatic militarists, which means their armies do 20% more damage. But it costs them a lot more influence to get them in... Well, it costs us a lot more influence to get them in an alliance. Or does it cost them? Not too sure which way around that works. Rivalry influence gain plus 50%. Because if you rival somebody, you actually gain more influence from them. And they actually get 10% war happiness. So they actually get global population happiness when they're at war. And they're also materialists, so same as us, they get that 5% physics, society, and engineering output. Now, what I'd like to do, they don't really like me at the moment. I've got a negative opinion, mostly because we're a new contact, but that will burn off over time. It goes up by +2 yearly. And we're repugnant, so they don't like us because we're repugnant. And we can actually have a look at species. We can go ahead and look at the Rixie here, and we can see what their traits are. So we can see that they're avian. They're quick learners, so they gain experience more quickly. They're sedimentary, so it takes them longer to migrate and it's more expensive for them to resettle. They're thrifty, so they gain 15% more energy credits. And they also prefer arid planets. Now that's bad for us, because they prefer arid planets. They're probably going to be wanting to colonize a lot of the same worlds we will. So what we're going to do is we're going to communicate with them. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to establish an embassy. Now, you can only have 3 embassies in total. 3 embassies at the same time. And having an embassy will give you +1 relations with a race each month up to a maximum of 100. So you are limited to how many people you can stay friendly with. So we've gone ahead and sent our embassy to them. They may send their embassy to us. We'll have to wait and see what happens. There's no guarantee that they will do that. Hopefully they will. I am hoping that they do stay friendly. Now, once we've got the energy credits coming in there, we may want to then go and start working on these minerals, but I'm not going to worry about doing that straight away. Bear in mind, of course, we are still working on some building upgrades here. Once these are done, we'll actually get some more credits coming from these as well. Not credits, sorry, minerals. Signs of battle. There is clear evidence that a massive space battle took place in the close orbit of Duranma 5 at some point in the past 5,000 years. The surface on one side of the planet is pockmarked with craters from stray weapons blasts, and scans from the CUS, it's not the Uris, it's the CUS Karsten, have picked up several hulks on the ground. Though these wrecked ships are all in very poor condition, the fact that anything remains after all the damage they must have sustained is a testament to their advanced design. Science Officer Lucas Campbell is preparing an expedition to sift through these derelict hulls for valuable technologies. Intriguing. And that gives us the Mount Graveyard expedition. First of all, let's go ahead and investigate these other aliens, find out who they are. And let's go and work on this one as well. So we might as well do both of those. Again, it does slow down our tech a little bit. So we are gaining influence, we are gaining minerals, but we are still losing the energy credits. Main problem that is contributing to that is the colony. We found an anomaly, 0% risk. Impressive structures litter Pajatum 3 surface, practically begging for some archaeological work, so we'll research that. Fleet order has finished, so one of the mining stations is done. We're only now down to -2 energy credits, so we are starting to regain there. That is a very, very good thing. And he's going to go off now and build the next one as well. So you will notice that these mining stations, you do have some stations that can defend themselves. They do have a certain amount of military power, which is what the number is in the bar. So if you actually look at our fleet has a military power of 69, which is quite weak. The birth of space piracy. Certain irrational and criminal elements of our society have left Jakura to seek an outlaw's life in the far reaches of space. In a display of surprising ingenuity, these brigands have heavily modified and weaponized a large number of civilian starships. Our civilian shipping lanes are now being raided by this improvised Starfleet, which identifies itself only as the Screaming Demons. A prompt response is needed. These nonconformists will be dealt with. Now then, what we probably want to be doing is building up our naval fleet. So let's go and just consider doing that. We're going to go to our spaceport and we are going to build a few corvettes. We'll get 3 more. Edic Monolithic. Pajatoron 3 is an uninhabited and indeed uninhabitable, but not unvisited. Its surface is littered with tall cenotaphs that carved from some mineral not native to the planet, evidently placed here by some artistically inclined spacefaring race. The monolith's flowing lines deftly chart a history so fantastical it must surely be fictional. So we can either gain 120 engineering research, or make digital reproductions of the monoliths widely available in the Empire. Not too sure what we get for doing that, whether it starts another chain. I think we're just going to take the research, though, because that'll be more useful to us, especially as we've actually got our research paused at the moment because we are doing a special project. We've almost finished the powered exoskeletons, and that'll be good because it'll give us some additional mineral income. So that's actually quite nice. Now, we've actually now found a hostile fleet. Now, what's that? The construction ship has encountered a hostile pirate fleet. So let's go and actually have a look and see what they're... Yeah, now they're up to 104 military power, which is significant, you know. It's going to be tricky to deal with that with my current fleet. So we're going to have to wait until we get a few more units, and then hopefully we can go out there and take them out. But that is something I will have to do in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Stellaris. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.